Welcome back, everyone. Today I have another video, and today I'm trying Flamingo. I'm just doing a video on all the new leaders. All the new support that every leader had. So I'm probably gonna do a video on each leader and the support that it was meant to. And then if there's another deck that I think is good with the new support, I'll probably just try it as well. But Flamingo definitely is like the leader that got the most, I think, in terms of value, which makes him like the most competitive deck that came out of the starter decks. Along with Pluffy and maybe some black decks, or maybe even some yellow, or even some red decks also. Like the starter decks have a lot of good value cards, and it really shows with the power level of the deck now. Now the new cards that they got, these 4 new cards, which we're also maxing out on all of them. Boa, which is extremely good with like something like Jinbei, or going second now is like a very viable strategy for this deck, because you can go Jinbei on turn 2, then Boa, play something else. All of a sudden you have 4 to 5 dudes if you hit another Jinbei. So it is very powerful, and definitely one of the cards that was missing the deck, allowing you to put a card on top of under the leader, and then allowing you at the same time to attack for 7 to play a dude for free. So you'll be able to just keep playing dudes for free with the leader. Very, very important. Is the most important card out of the new cards that just came out. We also have a 2K Connor Boogie. This guy is a Perona, but it's just a 2K Connor, so we definitely have to max him out. I think this card is. I'm also playing Sengoku, so you have more chances of have a turn 2 Jinbei. But there are some matchups that you do want to go first, and Sengoku is not good going first. So I'd rather max out on the Peronas and the buggies, so you can get there going first, which is also important. Some matches you do want to go first. This is just so you can go second, and going second, Perona does basically the same thing. Look at the top 5. If you see a Jinbei in the top 5, you can just put it there and then draw it for turn, and then you can play it naturally, or you can just play with the leader. So you have a lot of options with that. So I think that's why Perona is better than Sengoku in that regards, and why I play a little bit more of her than him. But 1-drops are really good in this deck in general, because we also have a new card, which is Law. This guy bounces back a card from our field to the hand, which is a lot of 1-drops that we have, and then you can bounce a 4 lower to the hand. So at the end of the game, you can even bounce himself back, so you have a way to get rid of blockers and attack for game, which we also have another card that does the same, which in the Perfume. So we play 1 copy just because it's too much redundancy to have too many of this. So just 1, just in case you need it. You can search it with Sengoku and then try to go for game. So you can search it with Sengoku and then try to go for game that way when you need to, of course. And then lastly, we have Crocodile. Is not a bad card, but it's not like super necessary to play this guy a full value. I think something like Gekomori is more important to play in the deck, and I don't think you need to play full value of this guy to make it work, of course. We play Weevil of 6k attacker that draws a card, very important for the deck, especially with something like Jinbei, because it allows you to keep the hand advantage. The 2k Connors, I'm playing all the ones that can be played and you can attack with. That's Mihawk and Crocodile, because they're 5k attackers and they're easy, like they're gonna help you just get there. So I think you don't need the Law, because the Law is maybe good against decks like Nami and Black Yellow Luffy, but I think you already have a decent matchup versus those decks, so it's not really necessary to play those. I think putting just a 2-of, I think a lot of people already know Putin exists, so they're not necessarily played too hard into her, but they're also not gonna like, it's just there. It's just a presence that you can always have access to, but you don't really need it. So it's good to have it as a 2-of. I think is the right number for her. Now here's where you're gonna have the most controversial aspect of the deck. Like, what is the right number on these ones? Some people will play 3 and 3. Some people will play 4 and 2, or I don't know if they wouldn't play Red Rock, but this card is just too important in the deck, in my opinion. I think the way that you lose with this deck is something like an 8-drop Kid that you cannot answer, or a 10-drop Big Mom that you cannot answer, or a 10-drop whatever the heck, a 10-drop Kusan that you cannot answer. Like, there's so many 10-drops that could like take away the game. Even a Jack is important to answer. So having the access to remove those cards is very important, and that's why I rather have more copies of Red Rock than Gravity Blade. Now Gravity Blade is a really good card in a lot of matchups, so it's also like like playing more of this card is not incorrect either. But I think this is the split that I want to go with. 3-3 is also fine. I just want to see more Red Rock that I want to see Gravity Blade in my personal opinion. But with that being said, that's what I have for today. Let's go see some gameplay. All right, and then we're gonna go against Luffy. We're gonna choose to go first because they wanna go first. So with the new cards, with the Zoro, they wanna play Zoro on 4. They wanna play Luffy on the next one. So it is fine for us to go first. And we're gonna mulligan for Piranha so we can have a better turn 2. I think this is fine. We can attack and get something out. Draw a card. This is just fine. Put this guy on top, although it's not gonna really matter here. Oh, I think we have set up the double play something here, so it's good. I do want to combo early. Well, I think he's attacking my thing, so I do have to combo. I might play Sengoku so I can get some cards out of the top of the deck, and I can just attack 5. Oh, that's perfect here. We get the Jinbe, so we get to play Jinbe, draw a card. And I'm going to attack with this one here because I want him to attack my cards. That's much better than him attacking me at this point. So I'm okay with him attacking my creature here. He goes Zoro, so he doesn't have the 7-drop, so it's going to be a much easier matchup than... Especially because we have the Gravity Blade here, right? So this is going to be a really good Gravity Blade, and then he's going to kill my guy, which is fine. I'm still at 5 life. I definitely just go Gravity Blade, attack 3 times. And I think from here it's just impossible for my opponent to come back. If he was able to maybe get a 7-drop Luffy on, he would be in a really good position. But now anything that he plays that is a big stuff, I can just Red Rocket, and anything that is not like a big Luffy. I mean, he did get a Luffy right now, so maybe he has a way to come back into this game. But again, it's difficult. He does have a couple of cards in hand. I will defend because why not? He's trying to play big mons to just get advantage here, and he pitches as a Kaido. So the Red Rocks here are gonna be insanely good, and I'm gonna just try to hit out of the Flamingo. Maybe we get lucky, even though we don't know the top of the deck. No, we did get lucky. We also get a card back, so this is just perfect. It is also likely that I could have done Sengoku, so I can play these guys out of my hand, and I can get them into the field, but it is fine here. Even though we removed the board, my opponent is not in a terrible spot, it seems like. He's able to remove my things, and then he's gonna be able to just keep up here. However, I mean, we're gonna run him out of cards eventually, right? And here we get to just set up the top of our deck, get some counter. We have a really good turns coming up. Whatever he plays, we're gonna just remove it. So we that's why we're able to afford to do another Red Rock here, because we play 4. So we can just remove anything that they have. And now this Zoro, yeah, it could be a problem, but it's not really. We get a 2k counter back, so we can defend that or something. Best play for our opponent is definitely like a 9-drop Kaido. Okay, so that puts him a little bit back into this game. But of course, now we have the Red Rock, and it is just unlikely that he's gonna be able to. He is going to remove my board, and he's going to remove this. But as I said, I mean, I'm gonna be able to attack the Zoro for like 8 and Red Rock this guy. So I think it's just good enough. I don't think he's gonna be able to come back here, honestly. Yeah, that's enough. If he takes another life to play something else, and there is really nothing like amazing that he can play at the moment. I will combo out of this one. I have a Boa. I mean, the Luffy is good, but at some point it doesn't matter, right? Yeah, here we get a Jinbei. We're gonna draw some cards, and then at some point he's just gonna run out of things to do, of course. Attack for 8 and attack for 8. I don't have to remove anything right now. If he wants to block, he can block, and he does. But we still have 5 life, and at some point attacking my creatures is not that amazing. If he has maybe another 9-drop, do something maybe. He needs a blocker, and even then is really bad. Like from here on, like what do you do? Just attack 7. If he has to combo out of this one, at that point I can just attack the Luffy. If he combos out of everything. I'm gonna go 8. Okay. That's fine. I can just play something out of the top of the deck. And without a hand, what is he gonna do, really? Like, I force the block here. And, I could get a Jinbei here, so I can get something. But a combo is also fine. I mean, I have the top of my deck set up for next couple of turns, so yeah. He has to take a life to get a queen to do something, but it's not possible at that point, right? I think this is a decent matchup for this deck. Even though he did miss on 7, I think if he does play on 7, it's a much closer game for sure. But I mean, it does allow me to have more creatures on that turn, and then I can attack for bigger numbers, and then he's at a lower life total by like faster. So I mean, there's a lot of things with that, of course. And now let's see a matchup that is probably unavoidable if you're gonna play Flamingo, which is the mirror match. I think a lot of people are gonna be in this deck. However, going second does help a lot. Look at the top 5. I mean, while it is not bad, it definitely is not what I necessarily want. But I'll take it. I mean, a couple of boas. I can draw a couple of cards. I can do maybe a search trying to get a Jinbei and get multiple cards into the board. It's not bad. I can try to do that next turn. So I think the key to this matchup is... Ooh, that's a really bad card to play out of that, but okay. But definitely the key to this matchup is to play cards from the Jinbeis. I'm sorry, that's the most important card in this matchup, because it just gives you the advantage here. Okay, we are able to get the Jinbei, so that's the most important card. And then next turn we're gonna be able to do Jinbei Boa and play something else, and we're gonna defend this 6-drop if possible. So we already have the advantage, and we're going first. So if something like a Gravity Blade could be really punishing for my opponent. I know they are going first, so the punishing is on me, but it's fine. Jinbei something else, okay, that's fine. He bounces back our guy, so that's not bad. I mean, that is definitely something that he needs to do to keep on this board. But we, unfortunately for our opponent, we're gonna do the most disgusting play that you can do in this deck, which is Jinbei into Boa, into another dude, into another Jinbei, into 4 cards out of nowhere. So we have the board control right now. He could do Gravity Blade, but that does not deal with my board. Not entirely is what I mean. And by not dealing with my entire board, it means that I can deal maybe with his board, and he doesn't have Gravity Blade, so it's extremely useful for us. Now we do draw our own, it's gonna be fine, but we don't need it. Also, it's fine. We can just start playing cards here, deal with these 2 guys if he so decides to attack with both. If he doesn't, then we can also play Law and bounce something back. That is also good. I will combo with the cards that don't look at the top of the deck, but if I have to, I will. He attacks the Boa. That seems incorrect. He plays the bouncing, and that's fine. Since I'm so far ahead on board, I can just like develop cards onto the board. I just keep drawing cards. That's also fine. I just have to deal with the board. and then just keep drawing cards. That's really good for me too. Yeah, this card doesn't have any counter, but that's not that big of a deal. And then we're gonna try to get out of the top of the deck something else, because if we do, good. If we don't, sure, whatever. We just one more done. He's still gonna have to give us 2 cards to save this guy. So we're still firmly ahead on this matchup. Sometimes you do have to play like that with this deck. Try to get the value, even though it's a little bit tacky. It's still worth it most of the time. And again, I do want to keep the cards that look at the top of the deck, because if I'm able to snake one of them in, then I'm able to save my board. But saving the board is the most important thing in this matchup. Now, he has 9 done. Depending on the version of the deck he's playing, well, he clearly doesn't have a Gravity Blade, so... And I don't know if he looked at the top of his deck, but okay. This is just fine. I can just play a Boa. Or I could just play... No, I think Boa is fine. Boa, or I can just draw a card also, but Boa is also fine. Yeah, for Boa is also really good. But drawing a card is not terrible. Just trying to get... Yeah, and I got a guy for free anyway, so it kind of worked out there. And we're able to attack with the Weevil, and we're able to just whittle down our opponent's defenses here. Now we have 5 dudes over my opponent, so, and we have a lot of cards in hand. If he's playing like a version with a 10-drop Kaido, he cannot play it right now, because I have so much life. I guess he can attack us, but still, he's gonna lose to a Red Rock, right? And which we do have a couple. So the Red Rock is not like the best card in this matchup. He is playing the blocker, which is not terrible, but I found that I just couldn't find the space for it. I think the other cards are more important on the long run, but having a blocker that is also counter power is good. I don't like think that that's a bad idea to just play that one. So he's playing a couple of blockers, setting up the top of his deck, and we're just gonna keep drawing cards if possible. Since we have a full board, we don't really need to use the leader ability. And getting the Weevils out of our hand is good enough at least. Okay, well, we attack for 6, for 8, and then we try to keep removing the board, because that's important, because if at any point he gets a Gravity Blade, we need to like have control of the board, because then we're gonna lose if we don't have a Gravity Blade to answer that, of course. So, I mean, really difficult here for my opponent, honestly. He plays another one. He knew this one out of the top of the deck because he set it up. He's gonna try to keep setting the top of the deck, but I mean, too little too late, I think. Unless he plays like a Jinbe and something else. But we're still firmly ahead, so I could take a little bit of time too. He goes a bounce back, okay. I can just keep playing the Weevil back. We could take the risk and play this guy first. But now we have a bounce blocker, so I will try to keep that up. He does have a couple of cards in hand. Annoying. And I think I'm gonna try to get the leader ability as well, if possible. I mean, defending this is the best thing that he can do, honestly. But then I can go after his leader, and maybe he doesn't have enough counter, so that's okay. I just keep attacking his board. Since I'm the one ahead on the race, is fine. He also hasn't seen more than one of the Jinbe. Ooh, and now Gravity Blade does deal with a lot of this. And then he's just trying to save the counter for his leader, because he's thinking maybe he can outgrind me with either a 10-drop Kaido or multiple Jinbes. Since he's been looking at the top of the deck a lot, he's probably just trying to get to a Jinbe, which I can command. Like, it's not a bad play, of course. That's how you get back into this game. Definitely multiple Jinbes into something else. That can definitely turn the game around. At that point, I can just attack the leader, and he has to play multiple blockers, which he has used a couple of them. So we'll see if he's able to do that. And putting him at 0, he's also in death range to the event, so that's also another win condition that I have. Okay, so he finally goes for the Jinbe, get back a card. He gets a Law, which bounces something back to the hand. So he gets 5 cards back to the in this board back to the hand. So that's pretty nice. I would bounce back what, the Gecko Moria? Bouncing back cards that I can attack is kind of really bad here, because the problem is that I'm losing a lot of value here. And I have to put him to 0, but I cannot just ignore the board, because if I lose the board and I don't put him to 0, it's gonna be really bad. And I don't get the top of the deck with my leader, so we're kind of hoping that this connects, because if he has a way to remove my board, it's gonna be a race between how many red rocks or how many ways of bouncing back something to the hand and then going for game I have. So definitely it's gonna be a more difficult game if I don't get what I need here. Ultimately, I mean, I can remove a couple of blockers and try to just go for game at the face. And I don't have much combo power, which is what scares me a little bit. And he has now multiple Jimbes. So he's definitely able to flip the script around here if he's able to remove my board. So as long as he's able to play maybe another Jinbe here and then play out multiple cards and attack my face, and then maybe he's able to survive one more turn. So he plays this one to bounce. Oh, he didn't bounce anything back, so he's hoping that I don't have anything to bounce back. But I mean, I'm playing the Law too. So I'm thinking how much counter he can have, and I'm saying, well, if he does have enough counter, we can try this next turn. And I don't think I'm gonna die this turn. So I will go 11, see if he has an 11. And he doesn't. He has the Perfume. He has a couple of cards, but they're not good enough here. And yeah, because I also had the option to maybe try to develop more board and try to go with that strategy. But look, the Gravity Blade was coming, and I'm sure he would have been able to remove whatever I play. So I think the best option here was trying to just go for game. Ultimately, my last option here would have been to just, like, if he plays like multiple blockers, is to play Sengoku, trying to dig for my Perfume and then trying to go for game that way. It's like going to be a long matchup. You have to find the balance between clearing the board and trying to go after face. And maybe I took too many hit. Like I took too long to kill him. Maybe I should have gone after face more. But that could have gone wrong too in certain ways, in certain scenarios. So you have to really be careful on that end. All right, and we're gonna go up to our, probably one of our hardest matchups, if anything. We do have the Jinbe, so that's why we kept the hand. And I don't think I need to look at the top of my deck just yet, because I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen, honestly, and I don't need to rearrange the top of my deck just yet, because I'm not gonna be able to use that ability for a couple of turns still, so no reason to do that, of course. And we're gonna attack first just in case they play Finger Pistol. He does take, and then we're gonna draw 2 cards. That Boa is God tier right now. We get to play Boa and then play something else. That's gonna be really good next turn. And unless he does Rob Lucy next turn, I highly find it improbable that he's gonna deal with all of this, I think. And we're gonna take this damage because we need to defend our board now. So that's definitely gonna happen. Oh, this just perfect hand here, because we defended early. Now we get the Mihawk back, and then we get all of this in this succession, and it's gonna be good. But we're gonna do 5, 6, and then 7, of course. That's the correct way to attack here when the opponent has like they have to combo the cards that they don't have in hand. Excuse me. And then yeah, we have a blocker, we have a good board here. He probably wants to play a Jack, but it feels like a little bit too little. If I have a red rock to answer a jack, oof, that's really bad for him. But I think it's... Oh, I mean, Rob Lucy is also a good option here if they do have it. That's a really decent option here. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit sick still. And yeah, we're gonna just block because I don't know what's gonna happen to this boa, so might as well get the free block. He kills the this guy, and is he gonna attack for a big number here? Seems really bad because I will defend for whatever he attacks. Because as long as we can keep cards on board, that's how we're gonna win. This deck relies too much on the board, and if he dies, it's bad. And I will gladly give 3 cards here to keep it on board. Imagine if we get like a top of the deck, another Jinbei, and then we play a Weeble from hand. That's just insane value. So I think I do have to just defend this. Maybe not give out the Piranha, because Piranha is just really useful. But Buggy is also really useful, so no reason not to do it that way. Sorry. We do get to play 2 cards here, and we're gonna do so. We could have let the Jinbei die so we can play like Gecko Moria, play 2 dudes. That was also an option. But the pressure here is like unsurmountable for my opponent, so it's also very good to do that. Yeah, he has to take all this life, and then we get to draw a card with the Weeble, so we have a full board and we have options now. If he plays a Gecko Moria, I mean, that's a good play. That's a good play. That probably gets rid of like 2 things probably with the leader ability, and maybe like an Ice Age. Or like a, what is it called? Oh, another opponent is playing like a very tuned out version of this deck to play against this deck with the Garb. So he can go in first, play Garb, and then start killing or things. Well, that could have been an interesting thing to see here. And definitely Garb could be an option for this format, since, I mean, this deck is a thing, right? You do have to have answers for that. And then here I assume he has some Gecko Moria shenanigans that he can kill or stuff. We definitely have to combo out of this. We might do Gecko here in case he like clears multiple things. He goes Rebecca, Zuru, and then whatchamacallit, Brooke. So that's fine. But we do have enough cards here to deal with this whole board. And then maybe ooh, this is a good top of the deck, of course. So we can deal with the board and also keep a huge board here and keep out the pressure. So that is also a good idea to do. I could try to go for game, and that's not terrible. And that takes a lot of cards out of the opponent's hand. But it also gives the opponent an opportunity. Like if he is able to survive, it gives the opponent an opportunity to come back. Mind you, black does play a lot of breaks. So the possibility of me winning is there. But you don't have to take the risk when you have other avenues that is still going to put you ahead. And it's still going to force the opponent's hand here. I can do that next turn as well. So what I'm going to end up doing is just attack for 6. Do you want to block out of this? That's a lot of cards that you have to combo. No, okay. I can do this last. I'm going to do the leader ability. So and I'm going to put the boa here because I want to get the extra down here so I can attack the Brook. See if he wants to combo to this one. He doesn't, so I'm just going to attack for 5. Do you want to take this? He doesn't, and then Red Rock. And then my opponent is back to the same turn that he was before, the turn before, but now I have, I mean, he has to still remove my board, and he doesn't have an easy answer for like another broken board to just kill 3 things or 2 things. He doesn't seem to be playing Rob Lucy. Because you do have to give something up if you're playing Garb and you're playing all these cards. So you do have to give something up. And it seems like Rob Lucci is the card that he gave up just to play that. But I mean, yeah, I mean, you pick your devil, of course, when you're playing this deck. I mean, this is gonna be a tough turn to get rid of. I mean, another Gecko Moria does put him back into the game, and at that point, I have to switch from KO every. I mean, try to KO his board to just deal the last portion of his health, and then trying to go for game. It does seem like he's gonna try to clear the, get cards into the board and then clear one of my cards, and that's fine. That is not as threatening. We still have the same board. We waste the second Gecko Moria, and we still have a little bit firmly ahead, so it's not like that big of a deal. He attacks for 6. We're definitely gonna combo. And then now we have to decide how much we want to do. This Sengoku is gonna either find me a card that I can bounce back that Rebecca, the final Rebecca, if he plays a Rebecca to save his life, or he's gonna find me the unblockable. That's my idea. Maybe I should play him right now, so I have that going. He's playing Kobe. Interesting. I'm playing Kobe, but in my whatchamacallit, smoker build. That I will make a video on, but yeah, I do have Kobe on that deck. I'll attack for 7, see if he wants to block. I just want to put him to 0. Oh, he took that one. Why? If you know I'm gonna attack for 9. Oh, he just doesn't have any counter, of course. Yeah, look at that hand. It's just full of non-counters. It is possible that I could have won last turn, but also the play that I did, I think, was good enough also, because he was only able to deal with one thing and only one thing. And that's good for me, right? Okay, we're gonna go against Bonnie. This could be a difficult matchup for Flamingo, as they do have a lot of ways to stop or aggression and lock our things down, and you know, it could be a difficult matchup. I find Gravity Blade to be decent, and then Red Rock important. So I definitely do want those cards. Perfume is also a good card to have in this matchup. So a lot of these cards are fine, and I think they warrant a spot in the hand. So definitely want to draw those. We do the search first because we wanted to find a Jinbei. We didn't find the Jinbei. We wanted to find another Jinbei here with this one, but we didn't. So we have to just do the boa, play her, attack, and then call it a day, I guess. He goes attack for 6. I think I do take early. We did find the Jinbei, which, I mean, do I need to play him this turn? I don't think so. I can play him next turn. What I can do this turn is attack with Flamingo for a big number into the leader. I am gonna play him, but I don't think I needed to. I could have done it next turn. But I can do it next turn also and keep the same cards here, and it's gonna be fine. So I get to play 2 cards anyway. And we do get the blocker. We could take another one, honestly. We're kind of low on hand. Because the next turn, what he's gonna do is probably gonna play a Hody Jones. So definitely just having some aggression here is important. Place it at the top. I have the perfume. I can play the Mihawk, and I can draw some cards. So this seems fine to me. Attack with the Flamingo first, of course. So we get the 7, and then we 5, 6 probably. I know. I'm sorry. He's gonna tap and then 5. That's fine. He has to play a 7-drop here, so he doesn't get bottom decked. Oh, that's a bad one to play, because he does play into our Gravity Blade very badly. And we're gonna defend as much as we can here, because we can. So yeah, we definitely just get double 2k here, and we have a full board. We don't need to use the leader here. but we're gonna let him tap it if he wants to. And he's saying, yeah, well, the worst thing that can happen is if you attack with the leader is not the worst thing that can happen to him. So he's like, yeah, please use your leader ability. But I have other means here, so there's no reason to. I am gonna, however, draw 2 cards, see if we can draw something better. I do want to keep the perfume. That's one of the ways that I can win this matchup. So I guess I'm gonna keep the Perona and the 2K Connor, and then we Gravity Blade here, and this should be enough to win the game. Honestly, like, how do you come back from here? Yeah, even if he plays like a Shanks or a Kid, I do have the answer for those, and that's exactly the reason why you play Red Rock, and why I play a lot of Red Rock, because Kid could be an issue. That could be the card that beats you if you don't have a good answer for that. So definitely having a good answer for Red Rock is important, because next turn what's going to happen is if anything, he plays the Kid, he plays the blocker, and then attacks for 5. I defend, and then my turn I go Red Rock, push your life to 0, and then I have the perfume to go for game. So I have multiple avenues to win the game. I would like to have a second Red Rock here in case of a second 8-drop Kid, but by that point I think he's gonna have a low enough hand that is probably not even gonna be that impactful, to be honest. All right, and we got a matchup against Pudding. I do think we are favoring this one, and we definitely want to take first. Ideally we get a Perona, but you know, we didn't get it. And the other option is the I think we're gonna have to blind do the Flamingo effect, because yeah, I mean I still have a good turn, Jinbei, and after that, like if I missed out of the Flamingo, I can just play Jinbei, but I mean ideally I don't miss, of course. But Jinbei is definitely one of the cards that I want to see in this matchup, of course. Sengoku, I mean, that's fine. And we did not miss, which is cool. And we have a Perona coming, which is also cool, because then we can do like Jinbei and then play Perona. That's really nice. On 4 Dawn, he could just try to remove my guy, which is kind of fine, I think. Like, it's not like he's gonna ramp into anything important, right? The question is, do I combo out of this? And I am, because I mean I want to keep the pressure up. I don't know what my opponent is gonna do, but I do have a lot of, like, I have a draw and play something here, right? I do want to be aggressive, and next turn he either attacks for a big number again, or attacks for a small number, and then I'm able to just combo out of that attack. And then here, like, look at this pressure here. He does get the easy kill on this one, unfortunately for me. And he does a sovereignty, but then that means that he's not gonna do much also. Ooh, this is really terrible, because doesn't allow me to. But I guess I still be able to just play the Perona. Yeah, and I get cards here, and then I'm gonna play the Weeble, and then I have all this value coming up. Then I draw the Gecko. No, I should have drawn the Gecko, so I can play with the leader. Yeah, okay. I messed up here. I should have played the Gecko. I should have put the Gecko, the Jinbei in between, so I can play with the leader. That was my mistake. But I could also, maybe he'd play something that I can Gravity Blade. So I have to think on those plays too, depending on what my opponent is gonna do here, because it's not always like guaranteed that he's gonna do X or Y play, right? He does have to play like the 7-drop here to heal. I mean, to get to 10 done, because if he doesn't start playing 10-drop big monsters sometime soon, it could be really bad for him. Okay, so yeah, he does play Karakuri and then attack for 6, 7. I have to have a 2K counter, which I do. So now I get to apply a lot of pressure on this turn. I get the 2k counter back, 7, 7, 7, or a bunch. I'm gonna put him to 0, definitely. Or I'm gonna try at least to put him to 0. If he combos out of this one, I can consider doing just like a 5k attack with Piranha. With Pudding. No, Piranha. But since he did take this one, I can do just like 8, 8. And then force him to combat of an 8 at least. Which is not bad. That's 2k counters. He does have it, but do you have another? Oh, 5 and then 5. That's also good. And it utilizes every card in my board, right? Now, does he have 10 drop? Big Mom. It does deal with the 2 cards here. I mean, just one, really, honestly. The Jinbe. I will combo the Gecko here. Remember, I have Jinbe on the top of my deck, I think. Ace is really good because it does deal with something else. But I can just try to go for game here. Unlikely that I'm gonna lose. Unless he has like a heal on life. Hey, he's likely. A blocker. Oh, okay. I do 5. I do 7. Oh, I could bounce back. Oh, I forgot to bounce back the block. I should have bounced back the blocker. I'm sorry. That was a mistake on my end. He combos out of that one. Okay. That kind of works for me, actually. Because I have the Gravity Blade, and I can just Gravity Blade go for game. He has to draw the nuts here. Okay. Yeah, like these cards are gonna die, so I'm not gonna try to defend them. Oh, I guess a Sovereignty. No, a Sovereignty doesn't do anything. Because I have the leader attack, and I have Gravity Blade. Okay, Ace. Interesting. He didn't attack. I guess it doesn't matter. He either dies here or doesn't. I attack for 5. See if he wants to block. You're gonna have to be careful with these triggers, so it's hard to tell. Yeah, okay. We did get there. If he blocks, then I can just play 2 more dudes, survive 1 more turn, and go from there, of course. He still has to top deck his way out of that one. And for my final thoughts on this deck, it's definitely a new contender, a tier 1 deck. It's definitely a 5-star leader. It's not to say that it's not gonna have no counterplay. I think black decks are gonna have an easier matchup against this deck, and also some red decks because they have now new removal that can deal with a lot of like this aggression. But it's still it's a deck that is very aggressive, very fast, and it can really get out of hand really quickly. I think Jinbe is a little bit too overtuned for this deck. Being able to just spit out like the best draws include like 2 Jinbes, and if you're able to do that, I don't think you can lose a game because it's too much aggression too early. So it does have that high roll potential of playing like multiple Jinbes like back to back, and that can just be back breaking depending on the matchup. So yeah, that it has that a little bit of like overtuning in that regard, but I still think the deck is very worth it to play. I mean, it's just gonna be like a meta deck. You have to be prepared for this deck because you're gonna see a lot of it. But with that being said, thank you all for watching and have a good day.